In a remote desert where golden dunes stretch endlessly, lies the untold story of a family richer than nations, yet they've never sought fame. They don't flaunt Lamborghinis or gold chains. Their wealth flows from beneath the earth, black gold. They own private pipelines stretching across continents. Yet they never show their faces on magazine covers. Who are they? How did they rise to power? And why does no one talk about them? Despite controlling all reserves that could crash entire economies if shut off for just one day. This is not about gossip. It's a lesson in strategy, legacy, and quiet control. They built empires while others chased cameras. Their story isn't built on sign or scandal but legacy, discipline, and discretion. Stay with us as we uncover the richest oil family you've never heard of and how they quietly shape the energy, heartbeat of the modern world, all while staying within a code of ethics few understand. Before the skyscrapers and all rigs, there was silence. This family began in the heart of the desert, where water was precious and shade was a blessing. They weren't born into royalty. Their ancestors were shepherds and traders, guided by faith, honor, and hard work. One day, a strange liquid bubbled from the ground. It stained clothes and hands but held no value until the world realized its power. While others sold their land for quick riches, this family studied, learned it, and waited. They understood this gift was not just wealth, it was a responsibility. With guidance from scholars and elders, they vowed to use it for good, to build schools, hospitals, and roads, all while following Islamic principles. Their journey from tents to towers wasn't a betrayal of tradition, it was a fulfillment of it. This scene reminds us, true wealth doesn't erase your roots, it strengthens them. It began with a quiet rumble deep beneath the sands. Geologists from distant lands came, searching, mapping, and then it happened. In 1938, in the blistering heat of the Arabian desert, oil gushed from the earth. The family, still grounded in humility, watched not with greed, but with awe. They knew this discovery would change everything, but how it changed them was more important. Instead of reckless spending or sinful luxury, they turned to scholars for guidance. What does Islam teach about sudden wealth? About responsibility to the Ummah? The answer was clear. Wealth is a trust, not a trophy. They invested not just in business, but in people, education, clean water, housing. They didn't build a kingdom of gold, they built a future of purpose. That oil well wasn't just black gold. It was the moment destiny was written in the desert. This was not the rise of rulers, but the rise of servants. With power, as oil wealth flowed in, many expected the family to embrace excess, but instead of golden palaces or wasteful extravagance, they turned inward to their faith. Their advisors weren't only economists, they were imams, scholars, and community elders. Every major decision was weighed, not just in profit but in tact with God consciousness. They built an empire guided by Sharia principles, ensuring fairness, avoiding interest riba, and uplifting society. Their refineries expanded, pipelines stretched across deserts, and trade reached the world, but not at the cost of morality. They created zakat programs to uplift the poor, built masjids where none existed, and funded Islamic education worldwide. To them, leadership meant serving people, not ruling over them. While others built brands, they built legacy rooted in simplicity, family unity, and accountability before Allah. They knew true richness is not gold, but in righteous deeds. And so, the All-Empire became not just an economic force, but a model of how power and piety can coexist. Despite controlling billions in oil reserves, the family remained grounded. Their homes, though beautiful, reflected simplicity over show. No marble statues, no gold-plated gates, just elegance in balance with Islamic humility. At gatherings, men wore modest thobs and women wore hijabs with dignity. There were no forbidden luxuries, no music concerts or wasteful parties. Instead, they celebrated Quran memorization competitions and hosted iftar meals for thousands. While CEOs elsewhere chased fame, they guarded their privacy and prayed in Jama'ah. Their daily routines included tahajjud, fajr, and family dhikr circles. Wealth didn't distance them from their creator, it drew them closer. When media sought interviews, they respectfully declined, saying, "We are stewards, not celebrities." In a world obsessed with display, their silence spoke volumes. The family proved that even with unimaginable riches, one can live a halo life without pride, without arrogance, and without sin. Their legacy isn't just all, it's how to carry wealth with worship. While headlines never mention them, the family quietly transformed nations. They funded water wells in deserts, schools in villages, and hospitals in war-torn regions. But their names were never on the plaques, only from a servant of Allah. They followed the prophetic teaching. What the right hand gives, the left should not know. In Somalia, entire communities now read Quran under solar-powered lights they donated. In Syria, orphans received shelter without media coverage or political claims. They never turned charitable acts into PR stunts, no photos, no press. When earthquakes struck Muslim lands, their jets carried relief long before cameras arrived. And when asked why, they said, "It's not kindness, it's our duty before Allah." Their secret sadaqah, unknown to most of the world, is written in the heavens. And it is this more than oil or wealth that secures their legacy. True richness is giving, not showing, and in giving, they became truly great. Deep within the endless dunes, surrounded by silence and sand, lies their unseen power base, a sprawling underground fortress secured, self-sustaining, and built with wisdom, not arrogance. It's not just luxury, it's precision. Inside, advanced energy systems fueled by solar arrays hum quietly. Quranic verses etched in marble greet visitors at the entrance. Here, decisions affecting millions are made not for ego, but for stewardship. A private masjid faces Mecca perfectly, where every deal begins with prayer. No gold-plated halls or wasteful fountains, only clean design, halal food, and disciplines and their security team, trained not just in protection, but in Islamic manners and ethics. Outside, you'd never guess such power rests here. Inside, humility and discipline rule. This isn't a Bond villain lyrics, a base of balance. Done your resources with accurate awareness. While others flaunt riches, they hide it behind sand and silence, because they know real strength doesn't need applause. While many chase fame for giving, this family gives quietly because in Islam, the left hand shouldn't know what the right hand gives. Their wealth flows into hospitals, orphanages, and clean water systems across Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. They fund Quranic schools, build masjids in villages where Adhan had never echoed before, and sponsor thousands of students to learn deen and science alike. One massive initiative provides interest-free microloans to widows and farmers, empowering, not enslaving. No interviews, no photo ops. They believe true sadaqah is between you and Allah. Every project is zakat filtered, Sharia compliant, and approved by trusted Islamic scholars. Their legacy isn't in gold, it's in lives transformed. While others put their name on towers, this family writes theirs only in hearts. Their giving isn't charity, it's a sacred duty, because they know, on the day of judgment, their billions won't count, only what they gave in secret will shine like light. Across their global residences, one thing remains constant. Each estate has a private masjid, not for show, not for status, but for salah. Whether they're in Geneva, Riyadh, or Kuala Lumpur, they pause everything 5 times a day to face the Qibla. Jumu'ah is never skipped. Tahajjud is often prayed. Their children memorize Quran not out of pressure but love. In a world chasing endless productivity, they schedule board meetings around prayer, not the other way around. Their homes echo with the recitation of Surah Al-Mulk before bed and the whispers of dhikr after Fajr. No matter the billions, no meeting is more important than sujud. Their prayer rooms are simple, no golden chandeliers, just soft rugs, Qurans, and sincerity. They know power on earth means nothing if your soul forgets its creator. For this family, the true empire isn't all its obedience to Allah, because real wealth is a heart anchored in Iman. While headlines chase their all deals, what remains hidden is their sadaqah, quiet, vast, and worldwide. They built hospitals in Yemen, funded water wells in Sudan, and sponsored entire orphan villages in Indonesia. But they don't publicize it, not for praise, not for clout. Their rule is simple. The left hand should never know what the right hand gives. They've helped settle debts of widows, paid for surgeries of strangers, and sent supplies to refugee camps without ever tagging a foundation. Behind closed doors, there are ledgers tracking not profits, but how much they've given for the sake of Allah. Their accountants calculate zakat before revenue. Their board approves WAC projects before luxury expansions, because they believe every coin spent in this world echoes in the next. To them, true legacy isn't all pipelines, it's a child in need whispering dua in gratitude. And on the day of judgment, only those whispers will matter. Amidst the marble and stands a masjid, unlike any other, funded entirely by this family. Not a monument of wealth, but a house of Allah that reflects humility. Its carpets imported not for softness, but for ease of sujud. Minarets built not for show, but to carry the Adhan to the skies. Inside, scholars from across the Ummah teach Quran, Hadith, and fiqh free of charge. There's a library filled with ancient Islamic manuscripts they've preserved from decay. Every Ramadan, tens of thousands are fed here. Every Friday, hundreds take shahada inside these walls, and not a single nameplate honors the donors. They say, if our names are known here, they may not be known in Jannah. This is not a palace. It is a sanctuary, a billion-dollar gift wrapped in sincerity, where all wealth bows down to divine wealth, a legacy of light not luxury. Beneath the shimmer of oil, wealth lies a river of quiet generosity and untraceable zakat fund that flows to every corner of the ummah, managed not by banks, but by trusted Islamic scholars. This fund doesn't just help the poor, it transforms lives. Entire villages receive food parcels during droughts. Widows are given homes, and orphans find new families through this unseen hand. Every year, thousands of medical surgeries are paid for quietly. Islamic schools are built in regions others forgot. Students memorizing the Quran are given stipends, so they never have to choose between knowledge and hunger. No plaques, no publicity. When asked why they don't showcase their charity, a family elder once whispered, "The left hand should not know what the right gives." This isn't philanthropy, it's ibadah worship through wealth. Because true power isn't how much you keep, it's how much you give without expecting the world to notice. In a world where wealth often overshadows values, the women of this family stand as a radiant exception. They do not chase fame or flaunt fashion on red carpets. Instead, they sit in majlis councils, advising on billion-dollar decisions with wisdom rooted in Quranic guidance. Dressed modestly, their presence commands respect not through appearance, but intellect and spiritual depth. Many hold degrees from the world's top universities, yet remain grounded in Islamic tradition. One manages a global charity that builds water wells across Africa. Another oversees an Islamic fintech platform that helps Muslims avoid interest-based systems. They are mothers, scholars, entrepreneurs, and above all, believers. You won't find their names on magazine covers, but in the duas of thousands they've uplifted. They don't seek spotlight, they seek akira. In their silence is strength, in their modesty, dignity, and through their leadership, they remind the world true success is always guided by taqwa, while the world is dazzled by their all-wealth. What truly defines this family is how they give. Every year, billions are quietly funneled into charitable causes through zakat and sadaqah. No press conferences, no cameras. They rebuild villages destroyed by floods, provide scholarships for orphan children, and fund hospitals where treatment is free for all. In one African country, they built an entire solar-powered Islamic school, naming it not after themselves, but after Allah, Ar-Rahman. A special division within their empire is dedicated solely to humanitarian work. Their strategy, simple: fulfill their duty to Allah, then walk away from credit. They believe barakah multiplies wealth, not subtraction, through giving. Their donations fuel relief missions in Palestine, education in Indonesia, clean water in Sudan, and healthcare across Yemen. They follow the hadith: charity does not decrease wealth. For this family, the real treasure is not oil beneath the ground, but the lives they elevate above it. As the sun sets over their private desert estate, the family gathers not in a boardroom, but around a long prayer mat. They bow in salah, shoulder to shoulder, leaders and children alike. Their empire spans continents, yet their heart remains anchored in Islam. They own skyscrapers, yet live by the teachings of the Quran. No luxury replaces the sweetness of sujud. Their next generation is already being trained not just in finance and energy, but in humility, Quranic memorization, and global responsibility. The family's vision isn't just to preserve wealth, but to pass down a legacy rooted in taqwa. They believe leadership is a managed trust from Allah, not a license to dominate. As they expand into AI and green energy, they keep their compass pointed to Makkah. In a world obsessed with power, this family proves the richest all empire is still richest when guided by deen.